right, it is game number 4 of the Western Conference Finals between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Honestly, an unexpected result for me in game number 3. I didn't see that coming. I don't think anybody saw that coming. You may have had Timberwolves money line. You sure as hell did not have the Timberwolves winning that game by 42 points. But ultimately, all the games mean the same, so that's just one game for Minnesota. OKC still in the driver's seat, but a crucial game number 4 here tonight or tomorrow night whenever you're watching this video in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So before we get into it, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions and best bets here on the channel. Every day at 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, we have our daily MLB best bets. We've been doing very well with our MLB best bets, just like the NBA predictions as well. And this week on Greedo Plays MMA, go make sure to check out our UFC Fight Night Blanchfield versus Barber full card predictions. That is linked in the description down below, and go subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA if you have not yet. Okay, one and only game today, obviously, back in Minneapolis. I'm taking the Thunder. And no, this is not because, we've gone to OKC so many times in this series. I just think the Thunder are still a better basketball team. I don't think one game in Minnesota dictates the rest of this series, and honestly dictates the second game played here in Minneapolis. I still think the Thunder win this game. Now, we can look back at that game number 3 and detail everything that went wrong for OKC, and ultimately, it just started in the first quarter. I mean, I believe OKC's only lead in that game. I think they were up 8-7, I think, at one point. But ultimately, I believe Minnesota went on a 9-0 run after that to go up about 16-8. Regardless of how that went, Minnesota obviously took a big lead in the first quarter and never gave it up. There was a moment early in the third half where OKC went on a big run, cut the lead to about 18. And I thought, okay, maybe the Thunder were going to make their push. But they were held off by Minnesota. Now, I don't think we can put too much into this game. I really don't think we can. It's just one of those games. Minnesota had a great night shooting. We've seen that. We saw that a lot in the Lakers series in the first round. We saw that in the Golden State series as well. The Timberwolves got all their momentum back at home. They shot 50% from the three-point line. Anthony Edwards, it felt like he could not miss a shot. I mean, there's that screenshot that's going around where there are 3 OKC defenders trying to block Ant, and he still hits the mid-range shot fading away, right? Ant was spectacular from the three-point line, 5 for 8. Mike Conley was 2 for 6. But again, 2 big three-pointers that Conley hit. Julius Randle was spectacular after a piss-poor game number 2. Julius Randle was excellent for Minnesota, 24 points on 9 of 15 shooting. In the bench unit, we talked about the 3 core bench guys from Minnesota, and we're going to talk about a 4th that played in Game 3 as well. But Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, all 3 of those guys played a part in that victory. Reid, 2 for 3 from the three-point line. DiVincenzo, 2 for 2. Alexander-Walker, 2 for 4. That's all Minnesota really asks out of those bench guys. And the other bench piece that hadn't played all series long was Terrence Shannon. Made a huge impact early in the second quarter. Ended up going 5 for 8 from the field, 1 for 3 from the three-point line. And Shannon scored 15 points. Everyone ended up playing for Minnesota in game number 3, except for Joe Ingles, even though the crowd wanted him to. Anyways, OKC. The reason I'm not putting much into this game is that, yes, again, you can say Minnesota found the solution to shut down Shea. It's one game, and Minnesota went to the double more than they had when the series was in Oklahoma, right? They looked to double Shea early and often in game number 3, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. That's why I think the Pacers are going to beat the Thunder in the finals. Now, I'm recording this right before Game 3 in Indiana. I'm hoping the Pacers are up 3-0. I really think they're going to be. Regardless, that's why I think Indiana's going to beat them, because they're going to be able to outpace the Thunder. But regardless, we said this before, I'm going to say it again. It's all up to Jalen Williams. It's all up to J-Dub. Because if J-Dub starts hitting his shots, and really Chet too, but obviously J-Dub is the number 2. If J-Dub can hit his threes and, strike some fear into Minnesota, then it forces them to respect everybody else on the court more. And same with Lou Dort. I mean, really, it's the entire supporting cast and really the perimeter guys for OKC, anyone but Isaiah Hartenstein. They have to hit their shots. They absolutely have to. Also, in the second half, OKC started Isaiah Joe over Hartenstein. I don't think that's a permanent thing. I think that was just, okay, we're down by so many points, we need a spark. That's why Hartenstein didn't get the nod in the second half. I'd assume the Thunder are going to go back to their original lineup in in game 4, obviously, with Shea, Lou Dort, J-Dub, Chet, and Hartenstein at the 5. But I'm not concerned at all. We saw there was many spots in that Denver series where Shea was doubled, and yet he still found a way to score 20 plus points, and he still found a way or his team still found a way to win as well. So I don't really think the game 3 loss is as damaging to OKC as you might think. Because we got to think about this. Is Minnesota really going to continue to play this way? Because, I mean, you look at games 1 and 2. Game 1, Minnesota with a great first half, right? Game 2, they were just kind of trailing the entire way out. I know Minnesota was kind of in it in game 2, but, you know, it felt really from the beginning to end of that game the Thunder were going to win. Game 1, there were concerns, obviously, until there weren't in that big third quarter that the Thunder had. But is Minnesota really going to shoot the ball like they did in game 3? I know they have the home court advantage. I know they have the crowd pumping for them, obviously, at the Target Center. I get that. But can they really do that again? I just don't think so. I think it's going to be... And even if they do in this game, which I don't think they're going to, again, we get OKC here at minus 155, minus 2.5. I'm expecting this line to move the other direction as well. I think the Thunder are going to close at about minus 135. I think that's about where they close for game number 3. And maybe, again, if Minnesota goes on an early run or whatnot, the game's close early, we do get it live at about minus 115, I'm hoping. But regardless, they'll probably just play the minus 135 for OKC prior to tip-off. But again, back to my point, I don't think the Timberwolves are going to be able to replicate what they did in game number 3. The home crowd advantage can only take you so far. And really, a big question is, how will Julius Randle play again? Game 3 was excellent for Randle, but can he do that again? I just don't think so. And I'm not putting too much into the fact, oh, Shea scored 14 points. Oh, Shea went 4 for 13 from the field. It's just one of those nights. It was one of those nights where Minnesota hit almost every shot they should have hit, and the Thunder missed every shot that they felt like they normally hit, right? I mean, Isaiah Joe went 0 for 5 from the three-point line. I know Joe has not played big minutes in the playoffs so far, but, you know, at his best, he's not going to be doing that. Chet went 1 for 4. Shea did not have a good game. Okay, Shea scores 14 points. 4 of them were at the line. 2 of them were from beyond the three-point line, and 2 were just mid-range shots. But again, SGA goes 4 for 13 in that game. I don't see that, you know, happening again, in all fairness. I look at J-Dub, 3 for 9, 2 for 5 from the three-point line. I mean, that might happen again just because that's how Jalen Williams has been inconsistent. I don't know. But I really think, again, this Thunder team, they're going to have obviously way more run in this game 4, and this is going to be a much more competitive basketball game. Now, Minnesota has not lost at home all postseason long. They beat the Lakers in games 3 and 4. They beat Golden State in games 3 and 4. There is just a difference when you play the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, one game does not dictate the course and the trajectory of the rest of the series. I expect Shea to be better. You know, for Minnesota, though, like, okay, I think Ant's always going to have a good game, right? That's the same thing I say all the time with the New York Knicks, right? Like, I know how good Jalen Brunson is. Regardless of how many times we take Indiana, I know we're going to have to worry about Brunson, and Brunson's an automatic bucket. Same exact thing with Anthony Edwards. But the same thing I say about Jalen Brunson and the Knicks applies to Minnesota as well. Okay, Brunson's great, but what will Cat do? What will Josh Hart, who I guess got benched? I don't know. The game hasn't started yet. I assume he's benched. I guess they're going Mitchell Robinson. Anyways, you already know if that's happened or not. But what will Cat be? What will Deuce McBride be off the bench? What will Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby be? Same thing applies to the Timberwolves, right? Like, okay, yeah, Ant is going to be there. Ant's going to score his points. But Julius Randle is, he was the trade piece for Karl Anthony Towns. What is he going to be? What is Julius Randle going to be? Because yes, one good postseason game is great. Historically, Julius Randle has not shown up in the playoffs. Look at game 2. He was god-awful, right? And the same thing does apply to Jalen Williams, and it's as big of a factor for OKC that it is Minnesota. But the thing I do say about that is the Thunder don't have to play a perfect game to win. Minnesota ultimately needs to continue to shoot like they did in game number 4. Because they can shoot like that, and obviously if they shoot like that again, they're probably going to win. But OKC has had a really bad game offensively as well. There was so many missed opportunities that the Thunder had in that game 3, and that all starts again with SGA. If the MVP is only scoring 14 points in 28 minutes, yeah, your team's not going to win the basketball game. So Minnesota needs to kind of play like that again because they know, again, OKC is going to be better offensively. And obviously, we don't expect all those shots to continue to fall from Minnesota. We expect a great defensive basketball team, in the Oklahoma City Thunder to be better defensively too, right? a lot just needs to go the Timberwolves' way again. That's kind of just how I feel about this one. A lot needs to go their way because I expect OKC to be better, and I know OKC is going to be better as well. So what will Julius Randle be? What will Jaden McDaniels be? Will he be a reliable shooter from the corner? Mike Conley as well. Again, Conley hit a big three-pointer to put the Timberwolves up about 22 in that second quarter, but can Conley do that again, and will Conley be there? Gobert, I've had no complaints. I think Gobert was actually really good defensively in game number 3. Really did not let Hartenstein or Chet do anything. And guys, Hartenstein's been good under the rim this postseason. He has. I swear, that float that he has, it was great in the regular season. Hartenstein in the postseason, I don't know if he's hit one of those floaters. I know he has, but like, it's been few and far in between, right? Hartenstein, again, aggressive, dunking, obviously, he's going to hit those, obviously. But that float game has been very questionable for Hartenstein in the postseason. And the bench unit as well from Minnesota, right? What's DiVincenzo going to be? DiVincenzo played a perfect game, right? The 2 shots he hit went in. He 3 assists, played decent defensively as well. Naz Reid had his best game of the postseason, right? And I know Naz Reid got more run because of the blowout, right? But Naz Reid in 19 minutes went 4 for 6 from the field, 2 for 3 from the 3-point line, 8 rebounds, 10 points. Can't ask for a better game. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 18 minutes, 5 of 9 shooting, 2 of 4 from the 3-point line, 12 points. And then is Terrence Shannon going to be part of the rotation as well in game number 4? I can only assume he's going to be, right? Why did he play a win-or-go-home game 3 or a do-or-die game 3? You need that one, right? He played 13 minutes, 15 points. I mean, have more points than minutes played. I'd expect Shannon to be back in the lineup. For OKC, again, just assume the same bench guys usually play, right? Expect Alex Caruso, expect Cason Wallace. We'll see. I mean, AJ Mitchell played really well in game 3. He did get to come off the bench really early in the second quarter because of the deficit, and they were just looking for a spark. Missed his first 3 3-pointers, and hit his last one. We'll see if AJ Mitchell's a part of the game plan. I don't know. But really, this all just starts with the starting lineup, right? It does. And I am going to lean on the side of that game 3 being an outlier in the grand scheme of things here in the Oklahoma City Thunder. Their run to win the Western Conference Finals. Okay, I saw this team struggle with Denver at times, and honestly, and this is why I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but this is why I think the Pacers are gonna beat them. I don't think OKC is able to shoot as well as the Pacers are gonna be able to. And when you shoot like Minnesota did in game 3 and shoot like the way that the Nuggets have done or did against the Thunder in the conference semifinals as well, right? It doesn't matter how great a defense you play. If a team has a magnet ball and they are shooting the ball that well, what you gonna do? And then you're just forced to try to run with them and keep up the entire basketball game, right? Indiana's gonna do that to you. And we've seen the Thunder struggle at times in this postseason with teams like Minnesota at their best in game 3 and Denver as well when they are having great shooting nights. But at the same time, yes, the Thunder are going to have their nights as well, and they're going to have great defensive nights too. I just think the way Indiana's been playing, they've had one bad game so far in this entire playoffs. It was game 3 against the Cavaliers, right? And I'm hoping, again, they're up 3-0 when this video comes out, right? That's my one concern with the Thunder. I think they're still fine in the West, though, and I think they are going to get this game 4 against Minnesota. Expect better defense. Expect not all those shots are going to go in again for Minnesota. And watch out for Julius Randle, right? What Julius Randle are we going to get? And expect SGA, the most valuable player in the league, to be better than his game 3, and expect J-Dub to, again, hit his shots when SGA needs him, obviously, when Minnesota does go to the double. So, folks, that'll do it for our NBA predictions and best bets here for game number 4 of the Western Conference Finals between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'll be back tomorrow for game 4 predictions back in Indianapolis, Indiana, between the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. Hopefully that's Pacers 3-0. If not, it's 2-1 Indiana. We'll get to that video tomorrow here on the channel. Make sure to join us daily again for our MLB best bets as well. And also go make sure to check out Greedo Plays MMA. That is linked in the description down below for our UFC Fight Night Blanchfield versus Barber full card predictions as well. So folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.